Good morning. My name is my name is Jennifer, and today we're discussing discussion board 5, where you think like a clinician. We were to choose either case study from chapter 9 or chapter 10 to discuss further. I chose to discuss the family case study for chapter 10, where the mom and dad kind of come in to see a therapist, and they just talk about some different things that are going on. So to answer the question 1 talks about describing the family hierarchy. So as it relates to this family, the family hierarchy is pretty typical gender role assignments. Father is the head of the household. He's out working as a traveling salesman to provide for the family monetarily, while to um, mom stays home with the family to attend to the emotional needs of their children. While this family appears to strive for like a organized structure, they develop some dynamics such as dad being out of touch emotionally with his children and even possibly his wife. The father also doesn't recognize the struggles or difficulties that his children are having in school. And it impacts the family as the father believes that, he's doing his role as a provider financially for the family. So the rest of the family sort of, just falls in line with that line of thinking. Um, the second question just asks to identify possible subsystems and then assess the family's ability to carry out functions. So this family in the case study, they present 3 different subsystems. The first one would be the spousal subsystem, where the mom and dad got married and then they transitioned into a parental subsystem, where they became parents. Now, during this subsystem, it appeared as though they had difficulty adapting to becoming parents and the responsibilities that come with that. There's limited knowledge in this case study or information. However, it appears as though the father kind of took on the role of going to work, and he worked out of the home as a traveling salesman. So it left the mom, home alone with the children a lot. So they weren't like an effective parental subsystem because a lot of it was the mom doing work alone. So, and as such, the third subsystem would be a sibling subsystem, and again, through the parents not being very successful being a parental subsystem, the children kind of adapted some dysfunction, especially as it relates to their father's affair, because it had an effect on the whole family. So the children are kind of struggling to see where they fit in with this, within the family, what their roles are, things like that. The third question is just asking about potential alignments, coalitions, and then to describe. So, a potential alignment coalition I found was between the mom and one of the sons, Harry. At one point in the case study, it mentions that, Harry highlighted how his mom was going through more than anyone else in the family. I took that as reference into the affair the father is having. And so it appeared as though, he has aligned with his mother, and has become defensive of her and everything that she's going through emotionally in the marriage. Secondly, the other son, Brent, it doesn't appear as though he's talking much in the case study. However, he it is was presented that he's kind of sitting there with a look on his face where he's looking furious. So this could be taken one of 2 ways: that he's either agreeing with Harry that his mom is going through a lot and he's upset with his dad because of this, or he could be upset with mom and Harry, thinking that there's nothing wrong with what dad's doing. Maybe he's in support of dad. So it's really hard to gauge kind of where Brent is aligned in this scenario. So the therapist would need more time, more information to kind of assess further with that. But the main alignment I saw was between Harry and mom. The fourth question is just asking about boundaries among family members. So again, it seems like this family is lacking like healthy boundaries within the family system, especially as it relates to mom and dad. So when you talk about dad having an affair with somebody else, That kind of, was a boundary violation within the marriage thing, within their spousal subsystem. So as a result, the family members are kind of struggling to find their place within the family, trying to establish new boundaries, seeing what that looks like. Because when you rely on routine roles and things like that, if you have a boundary that has been violated, then it has like a ripple effect in the family, trying to figure out, okay, where is our place now, what are our new roles, and how do we like adjust from this. The next question just asks current circumstances family members are facing. So there's a few transitions going on in this case study presented. So one would be, of course, dad's extramarital affair. Another would be that the children are struggling in school and that the dad isn't really in touch with what's going on. A third would be their finances. Dad mentioned in the case study that he's going to be transitioning from being an over the road salesman to a role more at home. They're getting ready to pay off their house. However, they don't have enough money for that. Although dad still seems to present as though, they're doing well financially, and it's not a concern for the family, there are some financial aspects that could cause stress. So, and then not only that, both the kids are teenagers, they're transitioning in their own life, trying to find their own, independence from the family, and just trying to establish again those boundaries as teenagers transitioning, trying to find their own independence within the family system. So there's a few different circumstances, moving parts that this family is working with. And then the last question just asks to assess the relative pliability or rigidity of the family to meet the needs of both individuals and families as a whole. So the biggest one that I see standing out is that dad seems to be pretty rigid in his thinking as the role in the family, like his role of head in the family. So just based off of what he said in this information that the book provided, he seems to think things are great. Despite all these circumstances, challenges the families are going through, he's been out on the road making a lot of money, so the family is great. And so he's not understanding why other family members are saying, no, we need to go back and look at this, because in dad's mind, things are great. So the family seems to be maybe stuck in their assigned roles. And so, when they're growing as a family, they're having difficulty establishing these new roles and new expectations within the family system, because they're, just kind of stuck where they are right now.